All right, well, I'll just kind of accept that for tonight, and we'll see if I can figure something else out. So things to go over. Welcome back, everyone who is here, or if you're watching, or if you're watching later on YouTube or something. Obviously, I've taken a bit of a break while I moved and got everything set up, and now I'm in this new location, which is great. I got a lot more room now, but it's new, right? There's still all the setup and everything that goes into it. I don't know how echoey or like how the sound is and everything. So you'll just have to give me feedback as time goes on. Obviously, this background behind me is very glaring and very strong, I guess. So I'll see if I can get a different background. But this is what I'm limited to at the moment. Um, what else? Okay, yeah. Obviously, it's been a while, but I'm planning on doing this on the regular. I'm gonna kind of take things slowly this time. So with this break and restarting, I've decided to work out through this more like one step at a time. Um, Obviously, like I had a kind of a setup and a system going last time, but I'm going to change that for what I'm doing now. So first things first, projects. The projects that we work on and that you all help me with are going to be changing. I know we were in the middle of the lightsaber. That is an awesome project. It is going to be finished one day, but it's not going to be finished right now, and we're going to take a break from it. The reason for this is it's a very complex project. And honestly, kind of one of those things that I kind of wanted to do my own way without too much input from others. And just because there is a certain amount of there's a certain artistic element to it and everything. And that's tough to do in kind of a crowdsourced environment. So we probably will come back to that at some point. But obviously, I need to uh, I don't know. Like I need to do something else, right? I need to do smaller projects, things that are easier for people to help with. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. So we're going to be focusing on doing smaller projects, and the reason for that is I can iterate through them faster, but I can also it makes it easier for people to help because they're not so complex, right? That no one has any idea what's going on except for the person doing the project, which is me, and it would be just a lot better and a lot easier to get other people involved. So that being said, we'll be starting a new project tonight, which will be quite a bit simpler than the lightsaber. And then I'm just trying to get a list together. But if you have other projects that are more simple, like engineering, electronic style things, please let me know because I need ideas to keep going. I'm hoping to start getting through these like every month or two, and I figured that would be a good kind of a good what's the word, like a good schedule. So yeah, that's where we're at. And then obviously every time, as I said, I'm going to take this piece by piece. I'm going to be trying to upgrade this kind of stream setup every stream or so, or every week or so, with some new thing like a better background, better acoustics or whatnot. And there may just be stuff in the background too with the website and other things, or with social media. So last time when I started this, I dove in and tried to do everything at once, and which was great in some sense because I covered a lot of bases and everything, but it was also very overwhelming, especially when you have no idea what you're doing and you're just getting started. So today we'll be starting off very simple, very rudimentary, and I have no plan for this project. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, let me know. Give me any feedback. All right, then let's get started. I am still going to do the bounties thing. That seemed like a good idea, even though it hasn't really bared much fruit yet. But I still want to be able to reward people for helping. So I'm going to leave that up. Our current goal is wrong. Okay, so our new project. Let's go ahead and change that. So this new project is just going to be very simple. We're going to make a couple custom parts, and we're just going to create a little desk sign in the shape of the Inachus logo, the round gear with the tree inside. Hopefully it's somewhere on yeah, it should be in the About section if you go look down there on this page, or It should be somewhere here on my Twitch channel. And we're going to try and create a sign that, an acrylic sign that lights up any color, right? So that should be fairly straightforward. We'll see what happens, as always, but should be fairly simple. So current goal. Create requirements for Inachus logo. How about light up? I'm not even really sure what to call this thing. I keep some variation of Inachus logo sign, desk sign, light up sign, you know. All right, we'll start with that then. Cool. All right, so I guess first things first, I gotta create the requirements, and I'm hoping these will be fairly basic. So desk sign requirements. We don't want it to be too big, but let's see. Acrylic based, maybe clear. Should be clear acrylic based. Should light up any color. So we're back to the neopixels again. Just one of my favorite things ever to use. I seem to operate under this philosophy that if I throw cool lights on something, it automatically makes it better. All right, should light up any color. Should be powered by wall outlet. Yeah, what's a good size? I don't want anything too big, but I also I kind of want to use it in the background or something later. So it needs to be big enough. Maybe we should just go how tall it is or something. I don't know. I take what's a good size? 6 inches? Is that too big? Smaller maybe? 11 by 14. Specifically why? Acrylics can get expensive if they're big too, so I don't want to go anything too insane. Yeah, I was kind of hoping to do the shape of the logo though anyway, so it would cut it out. So you can really do any size, because you can get this stuff laser cut pretty much anywhere. And you can actually get bigger sheets of acrylic than 11 by 14. I think this is going to be harder than I think it is too. I've noticed, let's see, 8-inch diameter. Yeah, maybe we do that, 8-inch diameter. Let's do 6. Let's go a little smaller. Okay. So 6-inch diameter logo should be good enough. All right. Any other major requirements? How about base should, or let's say this. Let's say electronics should be hidden from view and should be big enough for upgraded electronics. So everything except the, let's say, excluding the power cable, because obviously that's going to stick out. We'll just use a wall adapter to keep it simple. Option to mount on the wall. Wall mountable. Optional. That's a good idea. So it should be big enough for upgraded electronics. Electronics should be hidden from view, excluding the power cable. So, and then, yeah, so the big enough for upgraded is so that later if we change things, like if we want to be able to just do something else or add more functionality inside it. It's just a few lights. It seems pretty basic, but it would be cool to be able to just like interface with it, right? Plug in another cable and like send commands to it and change the color. So that is going to be the option. Bluetooth control. That's what I was thinking. I don't want to do that now. I want to keep it very simple. But Bluetooth or Wi-Fi control of some kind. So Tikva and I were actually talking outside of this and decided that would be a cool like extension. So just for the record, the reason we're doing this simple this way is I want to know how to use acrylics and I want to know how to make custom like 3D printed parts and things. And just get started with a very simple version of that. So that's why we're doing this. The next task, I'm going to make actually like kind of a ring light for my camera so that I can get rid of these obnoxious overhead lights and use that instead because these are really bright and put weird shadows on me and everything. And then after that, we were going to move into lights for the background of the shot, which were going to be controllable through Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. And then hopefully, like whenever a donation or like or a follow happens, we could do some sort of cool effect in the background or something. So that was the plan. I think this is a good start, though, unless anyone can think of anything else. All right. Cool. And then I guess I really didn't think this through very hard, but I guess our next thing is our block diagram. So give me just a second. I wonder which would be better, Bluetooth or Wi-Fi control. Wi-Fi seems like it'd be easier to use if you got it set up on the network and everything, but Bluetooth would be just like better. But then you'd have to do like, you have to create the other end of that, like from your phone or something. Wi-Fi seems like there'd be less work involved in creating the transmitter side. I don't know. If you're on your own personal network, Wi-Fi is just as good, probably. You know they make custom. Hold on. they make custom like radio transmitters and receivers, right? Transceivers kind of things that operate in sub gigahertz frequency bands, and those could be used to you could like put one on each side and send data that way. Those are pretty neat things. You can pretty much buy entire modules that do that. Okay. Hopefully we get far enough today too. I've got FreeCAD pulled up. We can start designing parts. All right, so our device seems pretty simple. I think within this too, we can outline a lot of the hardware that we're gonna use. So first things first, let's get a rectangle. And this is going to be the actual logo. Wow, that is tiny font. Acrylic logo. We'll just boost that up a bit. All right, and then next we need the base, and this is going to have most of the things in it, so it needs to be big enough. We could probably sub our requirements in here, actually. Diameter. It's a good thickness sound like to everybody. Acrylics usually come in standard imperial thicknesses. 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, 1/2 inch. Quarter inch is probably a good one, I guess. All right. What else? So we got our base. So the base is probably gonna be 3D printed, black, ABS plastic, unless anyone thinks we should do a different color. I'm just gonna say ABS like I know what that means. It's a type of plastic. But all right. Whoops. We need a way to keep it mounted in there somehow. We could use gravity and just have it drop in. But I think it would be better if we did a screw of some sort. Let's see. Screw mount, and then let's can I align this to like the bottom or something? Maybe not. All right, well, actually, let's change this to like yellow. There we go. And then on the other side, so we need one in each of, probably need like a couple, right? All right, and then we need a screw. All right, so that holds that in there. Oops. All right. Nah, wait, hold on. Let's just, this is making this overly complex. Let's just do ×2 on everything. Okay. I think I'm going to have to move the text around a bit, so just bear with me here. Go. All right. So now we need lights underneath here. I just realized I never turned the music back on. Sorry, my brain is all over the place with everything going on right now. Hopefully that will make things a little better. All right, so I realized too my camera is, the exposure keeps changing on it. I thought I turned that off. I'm going to get incredibly distracted while I keep fixing my new stream setup. There. All right, let's try that. Anyways. All right, so inside we need the lights, which are going to have to push up against the acrylic. We should be able to do that probably without any like crazy mounts or anything. So don't know how many of these we're going to do. Pixels times 5? I'm not sure. It'd be kind of fun to do a really tiny little circuit board with just like 5 locations on it. But I don't know how possible that will be. All right. And then we need wiring. Wires. I don't think that's centered. Oops. There we go. And then the teensy. We're just going to use a teensy 4, not a 4.1, just a 4.0. That's the smaller of them, and it'll work just fine. Or do we use the 4.1 and do an SD card again? Nah, I think we just do the 4 for now. Let's keep this really simple. We'll upgrade electronics later. Okay. Then we just need a cable coming in. And I'm just thinking an AC-DC wall adapter to 5 volts would be fine. I didn't think this through. The neopixels have to be powered. Does it make sense to power them from the teensy, from the 5? Well, it could come directly from the wall adapter, so we just got to get one that can supply enough current. Oh, we have to level shift too. Dang it, I knew I was forgetting something. Okay. Everything seems easy until it's not. Which will plug into the teensy directly through USB, and then the wires. I guess in here we need the level shifter. We could just use one of those boards that we already have that's tiny. Yeah, so neopixels run off of 5-volt logic, and the teensy uses 3.3 volts. So obviously the logic low, the 0, is 0 volts, but a logic high on the teensy is 3.3 volts, and on the neopixels is 5 volts. So that gets a little tricky. Thankfully, these you can buy these like kind of off-the-shelf level shifters that work for them. They're not the best option for neopixels, but they do pretty well and work at the speed. So, and I already have a bunch of them, so we're just going to use those. And they worked on the Falcon. That's what I used on the Falcon. So, let's see. Okay, hopefully that all made sense. I don't think we're forgetting anything here. The enclosure probably needs to open up somehow, doesn't it? Oh, man. right? To like get at everything inside, all the electronics if you want to change them out. So all right, so it probably needs like, just thinking through it here, like a shelf to hold the neopixels for one. So we'll do that. Just call it the shelf, but it's going to be a little, basically just a little thing in there for the neopixels to lay on top of. And then on the bottom, we probably need another, we probably need a cover that can be removed. Weird. Bottom cover. I need to get a mouse pad. I'm using like a card table right now, and it's so sticky. It's just got like, it's covered in this rubber or vinyl. All right. And then 4 times screw mount. And then one more. Four times screw. Okay. I think that basically lays out everything, right? Like where it's all going in and what all's connected. Can anyone think of anything I forgot? Because that would be useful. If not, we'll get started on trying to make the parts, I guess. All right. Then that being said, hold on. Check something real quick. Okay. All right, sorry about that. Good to go. All right. So that's good. This is done. So probably move all this over. And then I guess at this point, we want to start designing a part. I don't remember what the best way to do this is. I guess just, wait, hold on. Create a new part and make it active. That sounds correct. So as far as I understand how this works, parts have bodies within them. Which now somehow we're going to have to draw the Inachus logo. Maybe I just start really simple on it. Or just keep it simple and do a big circle. Let's see here. New sketch. On the XY plane. All right. And then, darn it, we did the, we came up with the diameter using, sorry, inches, imperial. So I guess we got to make sure we're using those units. Okay. So what is one of these squares? Sketcher. Grid size. That's a really specific value. Did that change anything? No, not really. I'm looking down here in the corner right here as I move this around to see. All right, well, this is where the whole I haven't planned anything is going to come in. Just got to look stuff up. All right, edit, preferences. I thought I fixed this, but apparently not. Let's get something on here first, and maybe that'll help me. All right, so we're going to draw a circle. Well, an arc, I guess. Sure. Interesting. Okay. All right, so for constraints, there is a diameter constraint, right? Radius. And what did we say our thing was going to be? Somebody decided this. 6 inch. So I'm going to go, so it's 3. I'm going to go 3.5. Oh, that's okay. See how weird the spacing on this grid is? It's like it's not quite at 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch or whatever it is. Interesting. All right, so now these endpoints have to get moved. But obviously, okay, so we got that radius thing done. So now I'm thinking for safety, we do like 3 inches wide on the post coming down. Man, we might have to do our own board with neopixels if we want to do that. How do you create a constraint between 2 points? Line and a vertex. So we would want this to be 1.5. Whoops. And that would fix that in place. Now if we do that same thing again on this side, it's going to fix, yep, everything turns green. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because these points are already constrained to be on the circle, when you set a distance from the center, that controls how high they can be. So everything's good there. All right. Now we need to figure out how far down we want this to go. So I want a line from here down, over, and back up for the base of it. All right, nice. So we'll do 1.5 inches. Ah, well, they're not connected by default, so hold on. Maybe this is what I want. What is this doing? Whoa. Oh, it's constrained. For some reason, there's a constraint here making this go straight out. Interesting. Okay. So probably not what I want either, at least not in the way that I understand it. Okay. Well, let's see if we can figure out how to do this then. Oh, well, those are connected. Okay. But that isn't. Let's see if I can. Okay, now it seems to be connected. Can't move around at all. So it's just the height that has to be constrained, and then I think we're good. So how tall should it be? Or 3.5 inches. So maybe... I have no idea. Maybe like, I don't know, 5 inches from the center. Let's see what that looks like. What? How is that invalid? Is that a line length constraint? Okay. Now let's try this. There it goes. All right, so that's all good. There's an excellent opportunity for like a Punisher logo right here. Whoops. There we go. All right, so this part will go down to the base. I don't know that this has to be that big. I just need the holes for the screws. Let's modify this to 4. I think that would be, meh, I don't know. .5 looks better. Okay, I think we're done with this. So now if I close this, I should be able to extrude this, right? Ah, there we go. So we're going to do 1/4 inch. So 0.25. There we go. All right. So and then what we'll do, we'll probably export this and as like a something that I can put on a picture, because a lot of these places will just take PNGs, cheap PNG files or PDF files, and you kind of just color what you want etched and everything. And so we can do that in just some basic photo editor thing and send that in. All right, let's see. What's next? I guess we got to create the holes for the screws. I guess we should pick something out. Oops, here we go. All right, screws and bolts. All right, I need something that can self-drive into like plastic. Because these are all going to be machine type screws. Doesn't look like anything here. Let's go tapping. Metal, sheet metal. I want something for like plastic. It should have like big threads. Board and fiberboard, strain board, plastic, soft composites. I've done this before. Here we go. Tapping screws for plastic. This is what we want. Excuse me. So basically, we'll 3D print a hole in the plastic for this, but then this thing will screw in and create threads of its own as it does so. I'll just go around because it'll be easier to model. And we don't want anything too long. It's a 1/4 inch thick, so we probably need like twice that to hold it. Three-quarter inch would probably be good. Because then it would have a 1/4 inch like of hold on each side. I forgot that I could just download these and import them, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. So these are round-headed, right? Yeah, okay. So, oh, metric. They're all metric. Inches are round like, or this weird. Okay, interesting. I wonder why that is. Anyone have any thoughts on that? I'll have to see what the models look like. This should be fine though. Probably go with a number 4. That seems to be a safe bet. And the 3/4 inch. $16. Wow. These are expensive. I'd have to get metric just to like get something cheaper. Hold on. That's really expensive. Is there a cheaper version? Am I just getting, is stainless steel just like a terrible material to get? Oh, the sheet metal again. Hold on. Let's scroll way down to plastic. Yeah, that's a little cheaper. Jeez. Black oxide steel. Does that mean they're black? Because that would be ideal anyway. They kind of blend in a little better. I'm assuming we're going to use black for the base, so. Yeah, but like this is. Yeah, you're absolutely right. The 18.8 stainless steel was definitely more expensive. A pack of 50 costs 3 times as much as this does. So this is going to cost me for a pack of 100. So I'm definitely going to be using these. All right, let's see what these look like. Should be just big enough. It'd be nice if I could set up the base that holds the electronics to use the same screws for holding the bottom on. And just see what they have on the shelf. I know, but I like to spec this stuff out. That's kind of the point of it, I guess. But you're right. It would be an ideal thing. Just to see what kind of, just to go look through things. All right. As usual, that can change later. So nothing is holy, so we can change everything. So we're going to go with this. All right, so these don't have to be very big. Probably 1/8 inch, 0.125 to make sure. So the plastic needs to be kind of smaller so that the threads grip it, right, and screw in. But the acrylic, we don't want to do that because acrylic, if you're like, I've done this before, and if you're putting something too big into a hole in acrylic or something, you can crack the whole thing. It's very, very brittle. So should only need to be an 1/8 inch. And I'm going off of the screws, the threads included, is a diameter of 0.112. So 0.125 should be a little bigger. And we may want to consider going a little bigger than this, actually. All right, let's put these. Four inches from this. And 4 inches from that. And this thing is 3 inches wide, so maybe 2.5 inches from each other. Yep. And then 1.1 or 1.25 from the center. Okay. I think that makes sense. Also, I didn't do a volume check on this new setup. How's the volume? The soundtrack and my voice and everything, all relative. Does anything need to go up or come down? That's weird. Really made that look odd, didn't it? Cancel. Volume is good. Okay, good to know. Thank you for checking that. All right. So our logo will go on here. We'll draw that in a paint editor or something, or some sort of picture editor. So now we need to create a base. Maybe we should color this so we can see what's going on. How do you do that? Let's see here. FreeCAD. Oh, I think I'll be able to do it from here. Object, right click. Doesn't give me an option here to set colors. I know there's a way to do this though. Everyone's saying in this view, just right click on it. Stream description still says you're building a lightsaber. Ooh, interesting. All right, check it now. Hopefully it doesn't have any more issues. Okay, I think it's good. But yeah, let me know. Does the description still say that? Okay. So the plastic base. This is going to be kind of tricky. I almost feel like I should just make a totally different part and then just put a cutout in it for this. Yeah, maybe that makes sense. So let's make this part acrylic. And we'll make this one the base. right, we got a body, and then we need to do a, so I could probably hide this for now. Well, maybe not. I might. Eventually. All right. Atikla, did you verify that the stream description was updated? Sketch. ZX. No. No, we still want to do YX. I'm trying to think of how to do this because I just don't know how to do all this stuff in FreeCAD. So I want to make like a kind of a pyramid kind of like base going up to it. But I don't know what all that entails into making that. That's all right though. Let's just try something and see what happens. So and then a line coming down. Sorry, I'm just trying to think through this. Like, what would be the best way to do it? Maybe something like this. Not sure why half these constraints are here. I'm starting to understand, though, some of the problems I had before. So all these length constraints, though, can probably go. So this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. We just want the dots. Okay. So we know our width of the thing at the bottom is 3 inches. So we probably want to go 4 inches. That's probably too much. Maybe 3.5. Okay. Let's see. Whoops. Come back. There we go. So we also know that we did, let's see, what was the radius on that thing? Like 3.5 inches. probably look here. It's on this side, isn't it? Yep. All right, let's close this sketch. Leave it for now. Open this one up. What are we looking at here? 4.5 to the bottom there. 3.5 on the full radius. So we have a full inch that we can go down into the base. So we want that cone part to be at least 1 inch deep, probably a little more because we want the neopixels as well. So yeah, let's go for, I guess 1.25 inches. Yeah, that would probably make the most sense. Well, maybe not. Let's just do 1 inch. Yeah. I apologize. I'm going to second guess myself all night. It's 3.5 inches wide and 1 inch deep. Let's try that again. Let's go from these. All right. And then for this to this has to be sizable just because we have to have room for more electronics if we decide that's necessary. I don't know, 2 inches, I guess. I feel like everything here is going to be way bigger than I think it is, so... Oh, that one's not connected, really? Ugh. And then we want this to angle down. This is going to be a big base. Like, this could get expensive. We might have to change it. We might just have to, like, shrink everything if we find this doesn't work out that well. Let's see. What are the problems I'm not thinking of right now? Any ideas? What's this look like as a quarter? Pretty steep. Maybe go to a half. And then do a half on this as well. .5, 0.5. So then 3.5 plus 1 was 5.5. So yeah, this would down here be 5.5. To here is 3.5 divided by 2, so 1.75. No, that was wrong. So 5.5 divided by 2 is 2.75. All right, we're missing one more thing. Let's see what can move. That can't. Oh, there we go. Here to here. There it is. That's 1. Okay, so now everything's locked in. All right, just trying to make this readable. Okay. That looks good. All right, so now we need to extrude this somehow, and oh man. I probably want the same angle coming down. We know this is a 1/4 inch thick. We probably want another 1/4 inch of plastic on each side, so 3/4 of an inch. Add an inch coming down. So 1 3/4. Is I think what that works out to. So 1.75. Oh, okay, that looked really weird there for a second. It does look weird. What is going on? It's like only parts of it are being shown at once. As if it can't render the whole thing. Cool. Now if we add this back in. Yeah, I think it's got to move around a bit, but I think we're there. We're getting there at least. It just occurred to me that with 1/4 inch acrylic, you have to, we're going to have to allow for some give, I guess. Like, it's not going to necessarily be exactly a 1/4 inch thick. It'll change depending on where we order it from and what kind of material we get. So we'll have to do a little bit more than that in the pocket. All right, we want to create a sketch on this face. So yeah, let's do a rectangle. All right, and then this, we're gonna make it like 3.1, just to allow for a little bit extra room. And then for the 1/4 inch thick, 0.25, we're gonna make it 0.3. A little bigger should make it fit just fine. Okay. And then we need to just, so we need to, how far? We did 1 3/4 inches minus 0.3 divided by 2. Let me just get a calculator out. So 1.75 minus 0.3 divided by 2, 0.725. From here to here. Really? And then 3.1, so half of that would be, let's see, 1.5, 1.55. Here to here. 1.55, okay. Okay, there we go. Close that, and then we'll need to cut with it. Did we know that thing is 3.5 inches and we made it 4.5 inches, so it has to go at least an inch. And probably just a little bit more because of the neopixels, so 1.25. All right, we're starting to get the base together. I feel like when this is all done, I should go through and like round all the edges too. All right, We should probably go ahead and try and position the acrylic inside it. I need to figure out how to change the color on this thing, though, like legitimately. Hold on. There's a way to like set material or something. Oh, wait, I've been doing this wrong. I think I've just realized. Yep, here's the color right here. Oops. All right, we're going to leave the acrylic as white. And then for this piece, I want it to be like gray. All right, anyone notice any difference? Because I sure don't. Interesting. All right, well, there we go. So where's our origin at? Can we see that? So we need the absolute bottom of this. Judge Judy Slayer, thanks for the follow. So we want to move this up. That's a really funny handle you got too. Yeah, so we want to move this up. Let's see, it's 4.5 inches down, so we need to move it up 4.5 inches, this part. So it just takes a second to get my train of thought going. So on the y-axis, we want to go 4.5. There we go. And then I don't think it's set up. No, it's not centered. Okay. So this is from this front to there. Oh, what was that again? Oh, no, it needs to be centered. So this is a 1/4 inch thick. So 1.75. Hold on, I'm just going to do this math. I know it's the whole base is 1 3/4 inches. So 1.75. So divided by 2. 0.875 would get us right in the middle, but then we need to subtract 1/8. Because that'll put the front of the plexiglass in the middle. Which gives us 0.75. In the Z direction. There we go. All right, I'm going to turn... I have some origin turned on. Is it this one? Yep, okay. There we go. So that gets me right where I need to be in the middle there. Okay. So now the next thing, I need the holes for the screws. So we turn the base off, we can see them there. There we go. So I probably need to figure out how high up they are. Let's open this. Okay. So they're a 1/2 inch up from the bottom because they're 4 inches down from the top there. and they're 2.5 inches apart. So let me just take a screenshot of that. All right. So close that sketch. All right. So now which one is it? We can turn this off. Go back to the base. Turn off the acrylic for a second. Weird that it showed that coming through. All right, and we need a sketch on this plane right here. And then 2 circles. Okay. I guess diameter of this is going to be a little bit up for debate. So we're going to use these screws. Ooh, excuse me. Obviously we need, let's see. We need them to grip. We need the threads to grip. We know that the threads are 0.112 inches in diameter. I don't know the diameter of the actual screw. There's not like a diameter without the threads, is there? I'm not really sure, actually. I can download the CAD file and import it, but that's about it. Let's see. What I'm thinking is that we make it this exact thickness, this 0.112, because the problem with 3D printed stuff too is it tends to warp as it cools and shrink a little bit, or expand. It depends on actually exactly what you're doing. It goes all kinds of different directions. So I think if I make it the exact thickness, it might warp after being printed a little tighter, and then that would be perfect for the screw. I guess if it's bigger, I could always like put something in there, you know, some sort of Loctite or something, and that would kind of hold it in place. It just make it really hard to take out, but yeah, I think I'd do that. 0.112 inches. Unless anyone has a better thought on that. Okay. And then we want to, let's see. Oh, we got to line these up. pull up my screenshot here. 2.5 inches apart. Okay. Five, and then 1.5 from here to here. So that'll center that. And then height-wise, we know they're a 1/2 inch up from this bottom here. Then I lock everything in place. Oh, this one needs to be specified too, I guess. Yep, that did it. So now everything turns green. It's all locked in. Okay. Then we're done with the sketch. And then we want to drill this most of the way through. There's probably a science to this as well, but it's 1 point. Well, this is really confusing, actually. We don't want to go any farther than we need to, which would be a 1/4 inch past, because it's 3/4 inch, so a 1/4 inch past the acrylic. So it's 1 3/4 thick. There's a math problem here somewhere. 7.5. Divided by 2 plus 1/8 plus 1/4. Five plus 0.25, so 1 1/4. That's how far down we want to go. So we're going to cut out with that 1.25. So now we can see it. Oops. Yep, it drills all the way through this side and partially into the other side. And this is going to be really hard to see, but... Ooh, interesting. That's so far out. Like, that doesn't match up at all with the acrylic, I don't think. Oh, it's not centered. Wait, how did I get that wrong? Hold on. We gotta fix this sketch. No, not this sketch. This one. 1.5. Should be 1.25, I think. All right, close. All right. That's the beauty of doing things by some sort of constraint, is you can move it around and the features will move with it. All right, so that looks more centered. Now if I turn on the acrylic, oh, look at that. I think it lines up. Yep, can't see any difference. I'll turn to the side a little bit though. Yeah, we can see it in there. All right, cool. So the holes line up and everything. I think let me double check these. Is this a radius or a dimension? Or it's a radius. I think I might have done the sizes of the holes wrong on everything. So it should be half of that. So that's 0.551, right? No. 0.056. Hopefully I'll be proven right here when I import the model of the screw. All right, so same thing for this. So let's turn this off. This sketch, these need to change to half that. So 0.125. So what's half of that? 0.0675. I can't think of it. 0.0625. Okay, so that should be good. Then we can turn this back on and we'll see it in there. All right. So now we got to do a sketch on this one again because we have to put a space for the screw head. Turn that off, turn that on, put a sketch there. Okay. Circle. And this needs to be fairly sizable. What am I looking for? Here it is. 0.219 inches, so we'll go 0.25, just to allow a little extra room. So 0.125 on the radius. Actually, just go 0.15. So this is something that doesn't matter as long as it's just big enough, so I'd rather err on the side of it being too big. Okay, and then we got to do all the dimensions again. And then we got to do the height. We already did height. We got to do side to side. $1.25, I think is what we decided. And same for this one. Really, that doesn't lock that one in? Or I guess it only shows it once you lock them all in. Yep, there it is. Okay, I think that's lined up good. All right, and then we need to cut with this enough so that there is a 1/4 inch before the acrylic. So 1.75 minus 0.125 for half the acrylic minus 0.25 for the screw, so 1.375. No. 1.75 divided by 2 minus 0.125 minus 0.25. So 1/2 inch. Got it. That sounds more right. There we go. Okay. So you can see there's like a little ridge in there now where it cuts in. Perfect. Okay. I might have time then to go ahead and try and... Let's do a sketch on this face. All right, so we wanted it 3/4 of an inch thick at the top. So I need 3 triangles here, what I'm planning to do here. I think I did that backwards. Hold on. Other way. Here, here to here, here to here. And then same thing down here, here to here. There we go. All right, so we know that this is 1 inch. This is 1 inch. This is a 1/2 inch. That's locked to the origin. This needs to be 1.75 from the origin. Wow, that locked everything in. Okay. Why do those look weird? It just looks like they're not the same length, but I guess it's just playing tricks on me. It just doesn't look centered. But I guess it is. Okay. One of these, this one. All right, so we'll close that sketch. And then what we're going to do is basically use this as a cut. I think this is how you do this. Anybody who actually knows what they're doing as a mechanical engineer is welcome to tell me. All right, let's do a cut with that. And then go like the whole distance across. So I guess 6 inches. Yep, just like that. Okay. And now look at that. We got this cone shape going up. We got holes for the screws that fit in. They don't come out the other side, which is great. All right, look at that. All right, I think I made a lot of good progress tonight. I think I'm gonna stop there. That looks awesome though. We're already making a lot of good progress. Cool. Well, hopefully you all enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. And I'm probably going to call it there for tonight. But yeah, so next time we'll have to basically cut into this thing and make some of the inside features. That'll be a little tricky, but I think we can do it. And then I'm trying to think I guess at that point we just got to make the circuit and then get everything together and order parts. It looks like it's coming together pretty fast. We'll have to do the design for this too. Yeah, thank you. I've got a lot of work done for a completely unplanned stream, so that's good. All right, well, I'll be back again on Thursday. Hopefully I'll see you all then. Night.